y'all, what's up, what's good? It's your girl Janae here, back with another video. And just let me say, we are at week 2 of Michaela month. I'm so happy that I made it past the first week. I didn't miss an upload. I was consistent. I was literally recording every day. So this week, if you see the same shirt a couple times, don't say nothing. I might change my shirt, might keep the makeup. Also, this is my first time putting on makeup in a year, so bear with your girl. It looks a little bit different on camera. This week I want to share with you guys some tips. These videos should be kind of short. I always say that and then I talk for 20 minutes, but I want to share with you all some information that you can come back to and use and apply to your own hair life, make things a little bit easier, give you guys the knowledge you need to have a prosperous hair journey going into 2025. And today's video, I would like to start off with some nighttime hair care routine tips, tricks, what you should be doing at night to maintain healthy hair. So if that interests you and is something that you have some questions about, go ahead and continue watching this video. Okay, so tip number 1 is to make sure that you are using satin or silk bonnets or pillowcases. Okay, it is a well-known fact that no matter the hair type, whether you're natural, curly, or have bone straight hair, any type of friction caused from polyester or cotton can cause breakage in the hair. So that's why it's so important to try to tie up your hair with a bonnet, a scarf that is made out of satin or silk. There's a lot of bonnets out there also just made out of any type of little silky material that's not exactly satin or silk. Make sure you are reading your labels to see what your bonnets are made out of. Also be wary of bonnets that like tie in the back or have a string. You don't want to cause too much tension. You can't do a bonnet. It's so important to have a pillowcase. You're still protecting your hair without having something on your head. If you're not able to keep a bonnet on, I know a lot of people, it just doesn't work for them. So if a bonnet or a hair tie does not work for you, go ahead and try a silk or satin pillowcase. Sometimes they can get a little expensive, but they are worth it. Satin and silk pillowcases are actually also really good for your skin. It has like a cooling effect and it's just really good overall. So go ahead and get away from the polyester and cotton pillowcases. Even if you just get one satin pillowcase just for where your head sleeps, that'll also be a big help in the long run. So make sure you are implementing those things into your bedtime routine and you'll see a major difference, not only in breakage, but also when it comes to moisture retention. Because if you're tying your hair up with like a cotton bandana or you're sleeping on polyester sheets, it is also going to like suck the moisture out of your hair. So just be conscious of how you're sleeping at night. Watch things that need to be tied, because I know personally when I was younger, I used to have like a scarf I'd tie in the back and I'd always like grab a little bit of my nape hair. That would cause breakage. Also, if your bonnets are not tight enough or your scarves are not tight enough, you're going to expose edges, and that is also possibly going to cause breakage if you don't have a pillowcase that is also satin or silk to back up the bonnet. Like, it's so important to be protected on all ends of the spectrum when it comes to hair care at night, because you just want to make sure that your hair is being protected at all times and not being exposed to any harsh materials that may cause friction. Okay, so tip number 2 is a given, I feel like, but a lot of people still do this, and it is never go to bed with wet or damp hair. And a lot of groups of people think it's okay to go to bed with their hair wet as long as it's in a bun or something like that. And we're going to talk about going to sleep with different treatments in your hair, but it is so important to understand that hair is at its weakest while it's wet. So as you first go to bed with wet hair, you are over manipulating the hair. All the tossing and turning is too much going on for your hair. It's also susceptible to breakage, and that friction between your pillow and the wet hair, or the bonnet and the wet hair, can also cause split ends and damage to the hair shaft, because like I said, it is more susceptible to breakage. Your hair is very vulnerable while wet, so you don't want to go to bed with your hair in that much of a vulnerable state for literally 8+ hours. Also, remember that a moist scalp can actually foster the growth of bacteria and different funguses, which can lead to potential dandruff and itchiness, or even other scalp problems. And if you're someone who suffers with dandruff or psoriasis or things like that, you do not want to go to sleep with any type of wetness or dampness in your hair. It is just not good, and it will not be beneficial to your scalp in the long run. And especially for our natural girlies, not only is sleeping with wet hair damaging, can cause breakage, promote bacteria in the hair, but it can also cause extreme tangles. Like, it's not good for you at all. When you wake up from that wetness or any type of dampness, even if the outside looks okay, the inside might be more tangled, it might be more matted inside, and then you're going to wake up with a bigger problem than you started out with. So just do not go to sleep with any wet hair. I know sometimes you might wash in the shower and you just don't feel like drying it, but please go ahead and dry it. Go ahead and dry it. Do not go to bed with a wet scalp or wet hair. It is not good for your hair. Okay, so my next tip for your bedtime hair care routine is to never go to sleep in a tight ponytail or bun. And I know for us black women and curly hair girls especially, this can be kind of difficult because sometimes we get these protective styles or just styles in general that we want to last, so we want to keep it in. But I would say when it comes to the ponytails that you get done, you know, try not to sleep in those for longer than 2 days. I know you want to make it last and stuff like that, but if the person that you went to got it very, very tight, that type of tension over time is where the women get like the little bald spots in the middle, and you're going to get breakage around certain areas around where the ponytail or bun is over time from sleeping in something that tight. One thing I even like to do when it comes to a ponytail that is not with fake hair, I will literally like loosen up the rubber band a little bit and then put it tighter in the morning. You just don't want to go to bed with any tension like that. That is one thing that I really used to do when I was younger. I'm like, I just want the style to look good for the next morning, especially before getting ready to go to school. But little did I know that that was detrimental for my nape and my edges, because that type of pulling and that type of tension should not be endured throughout the nighttime. It's enough that us girls do it throughout the day, but you know, the daytime hours is very much different than nighttime sleep. That friction of your bonnet or the pillowcase or different things that you have going on in your bed is going to cause breakage rubbing against that tight bun or ponytail. So go ahead and try to do as loose of things as possible at night. You don't want to cause extra damage or tension or friction to that hair. As you can see, I keep repeating the word friction because that is the main thing that's going to occur at night, because you're moving all around, you're doing all type of stuff, and your hair is just there. So you kind of have to like baby your hair at night and be considerate of what it's going through. Now let's talk about how to care for your silk press at night. One thing I like to do to maintain my straight hair at night is wrap my hair first and foremost. There are many different ways to wrap your hair. You can do like a traditional wrap. I've seen people take like stockings when they have really long hair and put two sides of their hair in a stocking, wrap it. I've seen people, you know, split their hair in two and use bobby pins. Anything like that to where your hair is flat against your head and then you put some type of scarf on your hair, that works perfectly fine. But if you are not someone who can deal with the wrap, I would suggest rollers. Whether you do them big or small or you just want to wave, there are so many heatless curl methods that you can use to maintain your silk press overnight. Now they have the little rollers that look like satin bonnets. They have the one that goes over your head like this, like a little rainbow effect on the hair. You wrap it up. All those are great methods to protect your hair at night. Make sure that none of the rollers you use are hard. You either want to use pillow rollers, you want to use foam rollers, any type of satin roller, but you don't want to use anything hard. I don't really like to sleep in flexi rods or perm rods, even things like that, because once again, tension, the type of tension that you used to have to keep a flexi rod in your hair, it can cause breakage because of how tight it is and sleeping with it, once again moving around and stuff like that. So you want to be careful when it comes to rods like that and rollers like that. I would prefer just to go the softer method. Even if you do a perm rod set during the day and by the time you go at night, twist your rollers out for something softer, that is what I recommend, because it just doesn't pay to go to sleep with hard rollers in your hair. But that is how I like to protect my silk presses. Make sure that you are tying your hair up in a silk press. Another way that I've seen people maintain their silk presses is by doing bantu knot. Of course, a loose bantu knot, nothing tight to where it's like, you know, pulling your hairline back and you're getting a facelift. Nothing like that at night will promote growth, and it's not going to help you retain your length because you are causing damage and breakage to your hair. And last but not least, let's talk about how to maintain your curly hair at night. When it comes to curly hair, there's a lot of different methods you might have seen on the internet, like the pineapple method, which never really worked for me. Whenever I would do the pineapple method personally and, you know, flip my head over and have the curls all going to the top, my back and my sides would be so flat it just would not come back anymore, and it wouldn't go down how I needed to. So one way I found that I like to maintain my curly hair at night is with satin scrunchie. I have like little small satin scrunchies that I got from Walmart, and I also like to stretch out my curls at night, so I'll just separate it, have it going down in a motion, and basically band my hair. You may have seen that term going around the natural hair community as a form of stretching your curls, but sometimes I'll put a couple. If not, I'll just section my hair in 4, put the little scrunchie on there, and go to bed. Like, that's it, along with my bonnet. I won't do anything else to like maintain my curls at night. I just want to separate it, stretch it down, make sure it's going in the right direction, then I'll throw on a bonnet, and that's what's worked for me personally. I don't really do pineapples or anything like that anymore because I just realized that that wasn't for me. That is how I maintain my hair at night. When it comes to pre-nighttime routines, I I like to like run an oil over my hair just to make sure that I'm moisturizing it at night. You can also run an oil or some grease on your scalp if that is what you prefer. If that's not what you prefer, that's fine. Not everyone is an oil fan, but I am an oil girl. I like to seal in my moisture, and that is what oil does. It is a sealant, so I like to do that at night. If you are an oil girl, that's the best time to do it at night. Pillow might be a little greasy, but that is fine. It's all going to work out in the end. So I think that's all of the tips I have for how to maintain your hair at night. Some hair care tips to retain length and keep your hair healthy and prevent breakage. So if you have any questions about how to maintain a certain style, what are some other do's and don'ts when it comes to bedtime routines, go ahead and leave a comment. I hope you all enjoyed this quick little video. I will be seeing you in my next video. I hope you're subscribed, and I'll see you tomorrow.